Hello friends and welcome back to Enterprise Architecture. Now, last episode we made a lot of progress in Sky Revolutions, setting up various machines that we need to progress through this pack, including setting up our pneumatic-craft machines behind us, which only exploded once or a couple of times that I may have edited out, but the point being, it's perfectly safe at this point because we've shut it all off and it will no longer explode. Today, we are going to work on doing a little bit of automation of our various supplies that we are going to need to continue progressing through this pack. So, with no further ado, let's dive right in. Since the last episode, I have done a little work of cleaning some things up here. This is our main resource generating setup, which you all might remember from a few episodes ago, and that's getting all of these things being sifted from gravel, all of these ingredients, into a vacuumulator that picks them up off the floor, and it shoves them into our storage drawers. Originally, this is going into a row of 5 2x2 drawers that hold 4 items each, using our storage drawers mod, but I have now been able to make drawer controllers because we can create diamonds with pressure craft. So we created those diamonds last episode, and I have now split this into 2 different sets of ingredients. The left set here is all of our pieces of ores, and the right set here is all of our various things that are not pieces. So all of these we know we're going to need to combine and then smelt before we can turn them into something usable. These should all be usable right out the get-go, so we just are leaving that here. And again, using a drawer controller to insert is the easiest way to manage that, rather than a long row of pipes. You can do it with a long row of pipes, but this is the way I prefer. This also means we can get things out of this using just a single pipe as well from the drawer controller. So that's what we are aiming to do today. One other note I wanted to mention here, I realized that we had gotten that blacker Lotus last episode here, and I didn't know what it did, so I needed to go and look it up, and that requires Botania's book to do it. However, we couldn't make books because we don't have access to leather. So I did make one mod to the pack. I added a recipe that took any instance where you're using leather, and you can now use the ersatz leather that we created last episode as well. It was the episode before, where you can use beeswax and also tough fabric to make that. So now all of our recipes have that replacement. I don't know why this isn't in the base pack, but there we go. Now we can make a book, and this means that we can now also make our Lexica Botania, and that we can go ahead and then look up the Black Lotus, which you see here. Apparently we can just dump it in a mana pool and we will get mana out of it. So we're going to combine that with our Akashic Tome so that we can use that later. And there we go. Now we have our Lexica Botanica. Okay, good to go. So that, now that we know how to use that, the other 2 things that we got last episode, I did want to mention, we got a compactor, and we also got a quantum entanglement block, or is it just called an entanglement block? Whatever that thing is called. Let's go back over here. Entangled block, excuse me, from the Entangled mod. Now, to use this, we are missing something critical. We have to grab the entangler, whatever it's called. The entangled binder. Yes, that's what it's called. So we make that with a bunch of things that we have on hand. I made some more ender pearls using our gas tiers. I made some more diamonds and some obsidian. So now we can make that really easily. So this allows us to use this block and entangle things. Now, this block can be bound to any other block. And when those 2 things become entangled, this acts as if it were that block. So I want to try something out with that in a few minutes. But first, I want to deal with my compactor. So the neat thing about the compactor here is that we can use that to combine other blocks. So that's what we're going to try and do here first. We're going to put that right onto our drawer controller here. We are going to give it some power. So let's hop up here and give it some wire cables there. And let's hook those up, the connector, and then to the cables. And now this is going to take in power. The second we start pulling in items into it, this should start compacting those, and we don't want it to be recursive. So this is going to make raw silver to start. In normal practices without recursive turned on, it would then turn the raw silver into blocks of raw silver, which is not what we want, and you'll see why in a second. So now what we need to do is to take our entangler, and we're going to go put it somewhere else. And the place that we are going to put this is over here with our chest that we have for this hopper setup that we have here. Now, I can't remember if I can have 2 chutes going into 1 chute or not. So since I don't think that that's going to be how it works. Actually, you know what? The easiest way to do this, we can do it with the entangled block this way. So I'm going to put the entangled block here, and I'm going to run a pipe into this chute. Okay, well, let's entangle this first. We need to go over here, I think, and click on the compactor. That's the block we're going to entangle. And then we are going to entangle that here. There we go. Now that's entangled. And now we can use this to pull items out of it. So that's just going to drop raw silver here. We're going to turn on our fan, and that means the raw silver is going to be slowly converted into whatever other ingredients we need it to be. In this case, it's going to bake it into silver ingots, but similarly, we could use this for anything we wanted to actually smelt. Well, we need to go back and grab our brass tunnel so that we can tell it to suck in any of those into our system. Oh, there is our brass funnel all the way over here. And we are going to actually insert that into a system that hopefully already knows about these sorts of ingredients. So the last thing we want to make is one more drawer controller so that it knows what to do with those. So drawer controller, and that is right here. For that, we are going to need to make 2 more redstone controllers, and that means 6 more of our redstone torches. And then we go ahead and make our 2 redstone comparators. And now we can finish making our drawer controller just like that. Wonderful. Okay, so with this drawer controller, we are going to set up a new network over here. We are going to pull items out of this and into our drawer controller. So we just need to set up our brass funnel. I think we can put it right on the side of that. That should, in theory, work. Let's make sure it's going the right direction. We can't really see here, so let's just grab up our lava temporarily. Yes, it is going the right way. Good to know. Perfect. And now we just need to tell it what items can go in here. So let's put down our drawer right here. And now this should be able to take in, yeah, just like you see there, the right ingredients, the raw silver. Now, what I'm going to do is going to be to lock this and pull out all of the raw silver, just like that. And now when we dump the raw silver ingots down here, the funnel will not pull them into the system. That'll just stay right there. So that's going to be our first ingredient. Now, obviously, we need to do this for every single other ingredient in our system. So one thing we can do is go grab up our old block that we had before that had our basic ingredients. I've tore all of that down, so we no longer have gold or copper production in our other system. It's all gone. So gold, copper, iron, and zinc are all now being made out of this system. So that's how we're going to deal with that. And like I said, all of this now disappeared. We're still using the sand for these other ingredients that we do need. And the last thing we need to do here is start thinking about some storage upgrades. So do we have any upgrades left here? We do not. Okay, so let's make ourselves a few more of our 4x4 drawers. And then we are going to use these to make our storage upgrades. And then we can take those and add gold around them to make a bunch of our gold storage upgrades. Now we are just about out of gold ingots, and that is because we just moved our containers that hold them. Drop this in, and we're going to make the rest of these up real quick. We could actually do diamonds now that we are far enough along in progression, but I'm not going to worry about it yet. So this is going to be our primary storage for those ingredients. Let's put one more in here. And then we are also going to need another storage drawer here momentarily because we have 11 items all said and done. We want to lock that from the start. So let's put that there. And that should now be locked. This should still be cooking silver. Yeah, that's correct. Raw silver. Good. And the last thing we need to do here is to make some upgrades because that's real slow. That's only taking 4 items at a time, and we can do way, way better than that. So we are using the pipes mod. So first things first, let's make a basic pipe upgrade. We need some more iron for that. I should have grabbed that while we were over there, but I did not. There we go, 1 stack of iron. I should connect those tubes back up, would really help this. Okay, so like this. one basic pipe upgrade, and then with that we can make one improved pipe upgrade. And actually we need 2 of these all day if I remember correctly. So let's make another one. There we go. All right, so now we have our 2 pipe upgrades. We can put one into this pipe. I believe we can put one into this pipe. Yeah, there we go. So that's the storage drawer. Ah, there we go. Just have to click on the connection. There, now it's gonna increase the number of items that we can move through here. And now we take our second upgrade and we drop that into this container here. And that then should be able to jump into the chute at maximum speed. Okay, so now we're on to the second ingredient, zinc. So this is just raw zinc and zinc ingots. We're gonna put zinc ingots in here, and now we can drop our raw zinc into there. And now, as quickly as this can, it'll start sucking that into our drawer controller. So apparently we are mostly done with silver and on to zinc. We'll then need to repeat that process for each of our primary ingredients that we have in the system. Now we can put the rest of these into this system and into that system. Let's see here. Aluminum, platinum, silver, zinc, gold, copper, nickel, uranium, tin, and lead. That's why 11 became 12. We have 2 different types of zinc ingots. So we have these zinc ingots that we have from our immersive engineering, from Create Mod, versus these zinc ingots, which apparently come from Ex Nihilo. Nihilo? I have no idea how you actually say that. Nihilo? I know it's Nile if it's without the extra vowels on there. So whatever that is, I believe that is correct now. So we're just gonna have 2 different types of zinc and we are going to live with that. That is no biggie for us. The last thing we're gonna do here is clean up after ourselves. So we need 1 piece of cobblestone, give me that. And we are going to use that to replace this link cable there, just like so. And that link cable then needs to go onto this container, this storage container we have here. So let's mine right underneath it. And we're going to put our link cable in here. There we go. And then we need to put our regular network cables underneath that. After connecting up all of those network cables, we now have all of our other ingots all present in this system, which is exactly what we wanted. This is now nicely automated, and that's going to work really, really well for us. So basically unlimited ores now. We can pretty much make anything we want with no trouble as long as this fan continues going. And I've also swapped out our regular coal drawer for a compacting drawer, so we have access to these coal blocks a little bit easily. I can just grab a stack then out of here and drop these back into our lovely pressure chamber to make more diamonds here as time goes on. That is all of our basic setup done so that we can get started on the next section here. Again, we have finished Industrial Renaissance, so we are on to the Age of Information, which is all of these thermal expansion machines and everything else. It looks like we are going to be making a whole bunch of combined ingredients here. That's going to be interesting for us. Maybe let's get started on this side of the fence, which is the stuff that we care the most about. That means we can look at the Pulverizer, which hopefully we can start making some interesting things with. Oh, and it looks like, yes, dielectric paste. We remember all of this stuff from when we were playing Techopolis too. Yeah, okay, familiar mods here. The Induction Smelter is the other thing because we want to combine these ores into alloys that we are going to be using, and these are new to me. I don't know anything about twinite, melodium, or stellarite, but osmium we do know. That's mechanism down here, so it looks like we've got our work cut out for us. Let's get, oh, and Flux Networks too. They've got the whole family here. What a great, great technology mod pack. Really super great seeing all of our old friends. All right, so enough swooning over this. Let's do a Pulverizer and Induction Smelter if we can. So Pulverizer, add that to our shopping list, and Induction Smelter. Induction. There we go. Right, Pulverizer. First things first. It looks like we are going to need a machine frame for that. I think we have most of these items, but not everything, right? Right. We need a piston. That's going to be easy for us to make. I really wish that recipe autofill would remember what it needs, which is wooden planks that we have a type of. Copper gears. Yeah, we could do that in the metal press, or we can just do it by hand. May as well just do it by hand because we have everything that we need laying around, except for apparently iron nuggets. Okay, well that's fine. We can make up a whole bunch of iron nuggets. We go through those pretty quick. Put that in there. All right, so then we can make our redstone flux coil, and that is going to use rose gold, which is a relatively expensive thing for us. Anyway, there is our pulverizer at long last. Now, for the induction smelter, we need to make ourselves another machine frame, which is this laborious process here. So let's make ourselves another diamond gear. There we go. That diamond gear we are going to make on top of a aluminum scaffolding. And then that we are going to use as a machine casing to add a construction core on top of. So can we make another construction core real quick? Let's do that. And let's grab our aluminum scaffolding. Perfect. And we can go assemble this now. Let's see here. I think the order is this, and then it gets the diamond gear. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. And then it gets a construction core. Perfect. There is another machine frame. That wasn't so bad once you have the diamonds. Okay. And now for the induction smelter, we need invar gears. Ooh, that's interesting because we don't have any invar yet. So let's grab up some nickel ingots, and hopefully we have some nickel done left. Oh yeah, we've got nickel done. Great. Let's do 16 of those, and then we need iron. We'll do half a stack of iron, and we're gonna come back over to our alloy kiln, and we're gonna drop those in. So there we go, there's that and that. Perfect. Oh, and we got some leftover electrum as well. That is a delight to see. You know, we are getting so many of our alloys at this point, it might make sense to go ahead and make up some drawers just to hold alloys. So I think I'm gonna do that real quick. Let me see here, where is our chests? Let's go ahead and make some 4x4 drawers up, just like this. That's a lot more than we need, but you know, we'll take it. Let's go ahead and put our lock in our offhand, just like that, and we will put one of these down right here in this little storage array that I've started to build to use for future items. Let's put our electrum in there, let's put our brass in there, and whenever that stuff gets done in the alloy kiln for the invar, we'll put that in here as well. Let's do, what did I just do? I just moved those the wrong way, that's what I did. Okay, great. Brass and electrum will go in there to start. And we will also then grab our invar, and that's also going to go in here. All right, like that. Okay, great. And now we should have access to that here as well. All right, so that means we can make up our 2 invar gears, again, because we have access to those now. Can make up another redstone flux coil, except for that we don't have gold nuggets. So let's go ahead and make up some gold nuggets here. Just do a stack of those, a little less. And now we can make the redstone flux coil. There we go. Love to see it. And a blast furnace is the only thing we're missing. So let's make a regular furnace first. Then we can make our blast furnace. That's just missing some stone on the bottom, I believe. Oh, is that not stone? How do you make that then? Let's see here. Let's see here. That is smooth stone. That means we need to twice cook our stone. Let's put 3 blocks of stone here. We are gonna drop that. Can I do it in a smoker? I know I can do it in a furnace. Let's just do it in the furnace. Okay, there are our blocks of stone. Not that many W's, please. Now we should be able to make our blast furnace. That's what we like to see. And with that, we will make our induction smelter. Great. Okay, so now we have both of those quests done. Now we can start moving on to things like Signalum and Enderium and Prismalium. So let's take a look at Signalum first. If I remember correctly, this is a 3-ingredient block. And the 3 ingredients we need here from the blend, no, not the redstone furnace. Where is that at? Induction, there we go. Oh, apparently we need cinnabar along with constant rose gold. Oh, this is a different recipe. I do not remember the recipe being this way. All right, well, where do we get cinnabar? Oh, apparently we make it in the pressure chamber using redstone dust. That is an awfully expensive way to get to that end. So I guess guess that's what we have to do. Thankfully, our redstone production is still awfully high. So let's go ahead and grab up, what was it, 48 to do that? So that's 3 stacks of redstone that we're going to want to do. Oof. I do not love these expensive recipes, friends. Okay, let's drop all that in there. All right, a couple of minutes later and a couple of near disasters, and we have a bunch of cinnabar made. So that was relatively easy, but extremely expensive. The next ingredient here, it looks like that we are gonna need is going to be, well, come on, let's pull it back up. Constantin and rose gold. I can't remember if we made any Constantin already. Let's add both of these to the recipe. Let's see here. Constant. Oh, we did make a bunch of Constantin. So let's go ahead and throw that in here. That's going to be part of our collection. Rose gold, if we remember correctly. We had done this a while before. Copper and gold apparently is the way that we make that. That's super easy for us. So let's go ahead and grab up a quarter stack of gold, right? And then we just need almost a stack of copper, but not quite. I think it's 3 to 1 is what we learned here. So let's drop this in our alloy kiln. This is a very complicated recipe all of a sudden. All right, now we need a place that we are going to put our bank of machines. And you know what? While we are at it, I had another thought. Let's go over to the pipes mod here, and I believe there is indeed an energy pipe. So let's make those real quick, and we are going to use that to power our new bank of machines. And I think our new bank of machines is going to go like let's do it right here. It's not so far away that we have to worry about it, and it'll work well for us. We're going to put both of these machines down here. We are going to put a cable connector on the end of that, and that should connect up with no problem. And then we will use our insulated wire coil to connect to that and start powering up these machines. Now, we might need to go ahead and use pipes entirely and replace all of these cables in the future because they might not be giving us enough power throughput. But hopefully that will work. Oh, what did not work there? Did I place that too close? Sometimes if you place it too close, yeah, it's going to clip through. So let's try and move this around just a little bit here. What do we need? Yeah, let's do this. Pipe wrench, pipe, and pipe. And then hopefully now this will be tall enough that it's not going to collide. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And no power coming in yet, so let's use our pipe wrench to adjust this and say that we're going to pull power out of here. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's doing the thing. Okay, great. So let's put our 4 ingredients into our induction smelter, and pretty quickly it looks like these are actually being converted. A lot faster than I would have expected. And there is our Signalum. Wonderful. Okay, we're gonna wait for these last few pieces to come in, and then we will move on to our next ingredient, which I believe is our Enderium. Let's add that to our list here. What do we need for Enderium? Now, this is what I was afraid of. These are difficult items for us to come by. The obsidian we can make really easily. We just pour some water over top of some lava. The ender pearl dust, unfortunately, we make from ender pearls, and ender pearls we do not have a cheap way of getting yet. That is annoying. And I don't think we can make any of these other sieves, can we? Iron mesh? Can't make that, can't make diamond, can't make emerald, can't make netherite mesh. So yeah, mana infusion, I believe, is the only way that we can do that until we have a philosopher's stone. Well, for now, we do have a little bit of mana, but not quite enough. So let's keep generating more here while I think about ways that we can automate lots and lots of mana. So I think I figured out the trick here to getting as much mana as we really need at this point, which is we're just going to make a bunch of blacker lotuses. These are actually really easy for us because we make them with hop graphite dust, which we learned in the last episode we can make out of coal coke, which has then been placed in a crusher to get coke dust. We put an industrial squeezer and it becomes hop graphite. Coal coke, of course, we can make really quickly in the blaze mesh mana pool from just regular coal, instead of having to wait for it to go through our coke furnace. So doing that gives us a lot of mana. I only dropped a single one of these blacker lotuses in here. And you can see right now I'm doing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks like we're getting about 2 or 3 of these converted gas tiers out of that. Perfect. All right, so that is a very efficient way for us to deal with this. So now we have 16 ender pearls, 18 all day now in our system. That is a lot for us to use. All right, so now we can take that and we can start making our Enderium ore. And once again, that recipe is in the induction smelter. We need ender pearl dust. To get that, we need to put this in the pulverizer. So let's take, what do you say? Let's just do 8 for now, maybe, and put these in our pulverizer. And these should then crush down very, very rapidly, or we can make them go even more rapidly. There we go, into ender pearl dust. Wonderful. Okay, so that is the first ingredient. We can take our Signalum that we just made, and I'm going to make a bunch more obsidian. You know what? Let's not use all of this right away, right? Let's pace ourselves, because I'm not sure how much of this that we're actually going to need. Enderium. Let's see. What do we even use this for? Enderium glass, resonant internal components. Sorry. Yeah, I don't really know about that. Enderium gears, though. Interesting. Okay, so that's done. We are about to do that. That gives us the other. If this is what we need to get to osmium, this is going to be really annoying. Okay, so wait, what do we actually need to make osmium? Is that what we're about to learn? Is that this is actually going to be some weird induction furnace thing? Huh. Interesting. Oh, we do it in an arc furnace from stellarium dust? Wait. Yeah, and what's the recipe for that? In a pulverizer, and we make that from energizing one each of these. Oof. Okay, that's how we get to osmium. Hopefully there's going to be a better recipe for osmium here, because this is going to be a whole thing. Okay, well, we've got our Enderium now done, so that gets another quest complete. Okay, feeling good about that. Let's start putting our other alloys into our system here so we can keep track of it. Let's put you here and you here. Great. All right. Now the question is, Prismalium. Can we make any of the rest of these? I think Prismalium, I assume, based on where it is in the quest line there, we should be able to. Prismalium. Okay, how do we do that? Induction smelter, we need Invar, a prismarine shard, and gold dust. How do we make a prismarine shard now? Oh, haunted blaze. Haunting it, I guess? Okay, and that's with the lapis. Let's take a whole stack of lapis here, and we'll drop that in there for bulk haunting. And with any luck, this will turn into prismarine for us. Just keeping an eye on this real quick. Oh yeah, there we go, prismarine shards. Oh, and crystals as well. Okay, wonderful. So we then use that with gold dust and Invar. Okay, wonderful. So let me make some gold dust. Let me make some Invar. I think we actually have some Invar, so we just need some gold dust. So let's see here. Let's do 16 gold dust, and I guess that also has to go in the pulverizer. Am I right? Yeah, that's how we do that. Okay. Put the other items that we have in here in there, and grab our Invar up. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Put that into the induction smelter. We're going to put 4 prismarine shards in the induction smelter, and we are going to grab up. Actually, we're just going to do 4 gold dust. We're not going to do any more than that. Perfect. And let's put that in there. Okay, wonderful. Quick little pro tip aside. Now, I have a simple storage network that I'm using for all of our various ingredients, and again, we're interacting with those mainly through drawer controllers, but I do have a catch-all chest for everything that doesn't fit nicely into any of those little slots that we have here. So the problem ends up being that inevitably you start dropping items into this chest whenever you're dealing with the storage network, and you can't really control it. So if I go here, for instance, and I dropped this compressed iron into the network, by default, it's going to want to go into my catch-all chest, the first thing that's nearest to the storage request table, I think is how it does it. But instead, we want to prioritize going into the drawers that are designed and designated for those. So as soon as you can, replace all of your link cables with filtered link cables, and then make your catch-all box a priority of like 10 or whatever you think makes sense, and then leave everything else at the default of 0. So it'll prioritize using the other assigned storage, and your catch-alls should always be a high number because then it'll only dump in here if we can't find any other place to put that stuff. All right, with that done, we have Prismalium now ready to go. We can load this into our various item boxes here and keep track of it. That looks pretty good. Now, the real question is, how do we get to this next tier of things? Stellarium. Stellar? Yeah, Stellarium. Okay, so what do we need for Stellarium? Now this is where the energizing comes into place. So our quest line is leading us on a bit of a wild goose chase here. We actually need to do this stuff next instead. So let's get started on setting up our various energizing rods, make dielectric paste and all of that. And I think at that point we should have made some pretty good progress here. So let's make up a bunch of our porcelain clay. I think let's go ahead and do a stack of that. I think ideally we're going to be using a lot of our dielectric paste. Electrum blend, we need gold and silver. So let's go ahead and take half a stack of gold and half a stack of silver. And we put the last of our Signalum in the Pulverizer to then make that into Signalum dust. All right, Electrum blend now complete. We can go ahead and do our induction smelting real quick. All right, only 2 dielectric paste. That's not even enough to make cables, so we are gonna have to make a whole bunch more Signalum to be able to keep up here. Well, this is interesting. Pulverizing redstone ore gets us cinnabar, and we can make, it looks like redstone ore from regular stone with an orchid. Now, how do we make an orchid? Oh, this isn't hard at all. We need some gray mystical petals, yellow, green, and red. I haven't played with these at all, but let's give this a try real quick. Gray, yellow, green, red. All right, so let's come to our petal apothecary here, and we'll do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then there we go. Now we have an orchid. Do we just feed it to it? Is this how this works? No? Do we put it next? Oh! Okay, that turned it into coal. That's not what we were going for, but we'll take that. Okay. Let's try that again. Let's see here. Use. How does this work? Oh, it has a chance of giving us redstone ore. It's not a guarantee that we will get redstone ore. All right, we have gold ore finally from the orchid. That took forever, but we at least have it. I just had a very, very dumb idea. And it might be a brilliant dumb idea, or it might be a dumb idea. So, if I remember correctly, there is a thing called the weight lens, right? In Botania. Now, I have not played with this type of Botania automation in a very, very, very long time. But in theory, we can use a weight lens to silk touch a block next to a block, right? So if I put that there and I put down my stone here, there's redstone. Okay, that was super lucky. I did not plan that, but for whatever reason, we finally got redstone. So if I shoot a mana spreader through with a weight lens attached, I should be able to break that block. If I put something under it that is like, you know, a torch or something, because it'll fall as if it's sand. So a weight lens we have to make by using a rune of water and a mana lens. Mana lenses are relatively simple, but the rune of water is going to take a little bit of work. We need to make a runic altar, and that means we need living rock and a mana diamond. So let's go ahead and make a mana diamond first. Whoops, falling down. Let's use another one of our precious diamonds and waste it to do this with it. Take it and we dump it in a mana pool. That gives us a mana diamond. Okay, great. So that's the first ingredient. And then we need living rock. All right, there we go. Now we have a living rock. We can put that and make ourselves a runic altar. Easy peasy. Our runic altar is going to need a source of mana, so we're going to use these mana pools that are adjacent to it here. Let's go ahead and put it in this one. And then our runic altar we're going to need for our weight lens. Yeah, we need to first make the mana lens. That means we need mana steel. That's easy enough. We just need some iron in there. What else are we going to need for this? We're going to need an extra piece of mana steel, so that's 5 all day, and some mana powder, which means we just need to grab any other powder that we have around. So 5 pieces of iron. Somewhere from our iron collection. Should be a big number. Iron. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Let's grab any powder that we have. I think bone meal will be great. We can try that. So if we put this in here, there we go. That'll work. Perfect. That gives us mana powder. Okay. So that is most of the items that we need there. Let's make a mana lens real quick. We need some glass panes. Okay, so I was just doing this in the wrong order. We have everything on there. I just put a piece of living rock and then, whoops, living rock and then hit it with my wand. There we go. And now we have the rune. Wonderful. And then we just grab up a bunch of prismarine, wasn't it? Let's see here. Weight lens. All right, there is our last remaining crystal. We can put it in here, and there is a weight lens. And now we can make ourselves another mana spreader, just like this. Perfect. All right, let's try this. We have the weight lens on there. I think we've got everything lined up. So in theory, it should then make all of these things once they light up, if they light up. I think the problem here is that I need to turn this into a pulse mana spreader. So let's break this real quick and just clear up some inventory space. And I think I need to attach this with some redstone. So let's use this like this. Okay, there we go. Now it's a pulse mana spreader. Yeah, that's definitely shooting at it, but it's not doing anything. I don't know why. Well, you all, I am in luck. Apparently, I have a wandering trader who stopped by, and he explained to me that I have this set up wrong. I needed at least 1 block of air in between the mana spreader and the block I'm trying to drop, and he also says that I need to have the block, at least 1 block of air above the torch where I'm trying to actually drop it onto. So now when I do this, yeah, there we go. It perfectly will drop just like that. So we can go back to now using our orchid to try and make this block for us. So we're going to put the orchid there, and we are going to grab our block of stone here. Now it's made coal. Let's flip this. There we go. And that should, yes indeed, drop our coal block. Okay. So let me go make a batch more stone and see if we can't get this to turn into redstone or gold. Oh, well that's unique. I didn't know we could even get emerald out of this thing, but we will certainly take an emerald block. Let's run down there and grab that up real quick. There we go. Okay, there's the redstone. So after almost 2/3 of a stack, we finally got our redstone. Let's break that. Great, and let's go down here and snatch it up. There we go. Now we have redstone ore, and now if we take our redstone ore, I want to make absolutely sure we're doing this right. So using redstone in a pulverizer will definitely give us cinnabar. So let's drop the redstone ore into the pulverizer, and do we need to give it this as well? I think we might need to give it flint to do the pulverizing, because that's how we get the secondary ingredients. I believe. I could be wrong. How we looking? Oh no, we only got redstone out of that. That is frustrating and disappointing. And yeah, looking here, there's only a 25% chance of actually getting cinnabar out of the redstone ore. So that's not especially a good chance. So it looks like we are stuck with making cinnabar the old-fashioned way. Well, friends, we did not make as much progress as I would have liked. Unfortunately, we just got carried away with trying to automate a whole bunch of things and trying to be smarter than the system, but we are stuck to the old-fashioned way of doing things. So in between episodes, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and make a whole bunch of cinnabar using our pressure chamber behind us. That tends to explode, so I'm not going to bother doing that on camera. camera. I tend to make a mess of things over and over again. And we're going to use that and be set up and make a whole bunch of dielectric paste, which we've already made this episode. So I'm going to do that before we get started on next episode's projects. So thanks again for watching Enterprise Architecture, and we'll see you back here then. Bye, friends.